Hi grade 11, in today's video we are going to continue with our cash budget. Please make sure that you go back and watch part 1 if you haven't watched part 1, or you're going to watch it after this lesson. So in today's lesson we are going to prepare a data collection schedule, then after that we are going to prepare the whole cash budget. So this is the question paper that was written last year around October, or September or August, around there. So it was a common test which was part of the report. So let's check this question paper together, then we're gonna answer the question. Okay, we've been given a cash budget, which was question 1 on this question paper. Question 2, it was about manufacturing, which you also have to go and check the other videos that I have uploaded about manufacturing. Okay, so on the required part number 1, they said provide 2 different reasons why it is very important for business to prepare a cash budget. Okay, so for this one I can show you the possible answers that has been given. Okay, they said a budget are used for planning for the expected cash receipts and payment of the business. Obviously, as a business, we have to make sure that we plan how are we going to make a payment, how are we going to receive a cash from outside. Remember, we don't only receive cash as a sales, we can also receive a cash from different department as a business. Okay, so we also have to plan that. So number 2, they said they assess the liquidity situation in future and assist in determining whether sufficient cash will be available before making a business decision. Okay, then the last one, business budget are useful in determining whether the business may need to arrange extra funding through a loan, overdraft, or more capital. Obviously, if we prepare a proper cash budget, we will be able to know that the cash that we have, we won't be able to afford a very important item that we need to buy. Okay, so that's the possible answer that was needed on 1.1. Okay, now let's do 1.2, which is very important, which is our data collection schedule as well as cash budget. Okay, so they say that we have to complete data collection and budget for October and November. Okay, our collection schedule was 7 marks and our cash budget was 27 marks. All right, now remember, in accounting they are going to give you an answer book. They are going to give you an answer book. So in our answer book, guys, we were already given the following figure. Okay, okay, remember guys, it's not always the case where they will give you a figures of credit sales. Some of the question you will be required to calculate. However, in this case, you were not required to calculate a credit sales. There was no any marks allocation. Okay, then we have October and November, so we have to make sure that we calculate that part. All right, now let's check the information that will assist us to calculate our collection schedule. Okay, let's go to transaction number 2. Okay, transaction number 2, they said a current percentage of total sales for both cash and credit sales is expected to remain a constant, which means that the percentage is not going to change. Number 3, they said that debtors currently pay according to the following trend. A 40% is paid in the month of sales to receive a 5% discount, which in other words, if a debtor purchased on January they are going to pay us a 40% on January and receive a discount of 5%. Okay, in other words, we are trying to encourage them to pay as early as possible. Okay, then 50% will be paid in the following months. If they purchase January, they're gonna pay February. Then 7% paid in the second month following the month of sales, which means that if they purchase January, they're gonna pay March. Then on April, obviously, we're going to write them off. If they purchase on January, 3% is irrecoverable and will be considered as a bad debt. Remember, bad debt doesn't form part of debtors collection schedule. In collection schedule, we only record what we are going to collect. Bad debts we are not going to collect unless maybe they require you to complete a bad debt separate. That's where you are going to calculate that 3%. Okay, now because we have this information, we can be able to fill up our debtors collection schedule. Okay, remember they said a 40% will be collected in the same month and 50% will be collected in the following month. Then the other percent is 7%. 7%. Right, remember 40% go with what? 5% discount. You always have to remember that. Okay, now let's do a calculation for this 40%. This 40%, guys, I always say it is simple. Why? It's the same month. When they say it's the same month, you have to check this side and this side. Very, very simple. Let's check. We have October this side. Do we have October this side? Yes, October. Which means that we check October and do it like this. And check the column that they're going to meet is this one. Very simple. So in this case, simple means that we are going to say our credit sales of 163,200 multiplied by 40% multiplied by 95 over 100. Why 95 over 100? Because instead of paying 100%, those people are going to pay us 95% because of minus 5% of discount. Okay, so if you calculate this, you are going to get an amount of 62,016. 62,016. Okay, we also have November and November. Okay, we check where they are going to meet, which is this side. We're gonna say 168,000 multiplied by 40%. We're still doing 40% because it's the simplest one, 95 over 100. Okay, then it's gonna give us 63,840. 63,840. Very simple. If they said in the same month of sales, it must be the same. January and January, February and February is going to apply here. Now we are done with the 40%. 50% they said in the following month. How do you count that? Very simple, guys. You check, do we have the following month? Example, we have September. The following month of September is October, which means that it's October. We check where they are going to meet, which is here. And we said 161,400 multiplied by the following month is 50%. Okay, which if we calculate is gonna give us 80,700. 80,700. Very simple. Alright, now let's take another one. October, the following October is November, which is this column. We're gonna see 163,200 multiplied by 50%, which is going to give us how much? 81,600. 81,600. Very simple, guys. Very simple. Okay. Now we also have to check the month following the month of sales, which means that if we are talking about January, we're gonna skip February and we go to March. Let's take July. From July, we're gonna skip September. Sorry, after July we have August, then we go to September. We don't have September here, we skip. August, we're gonna skip September and we go to October, which means that yes is there. We are going to use a 7%. 152,400 multiplied by 7%. Okay, which is going to give us 10,668. Okay, then now let's take another one. Do we have another one? September. Remember, we're doing 7%. September, we're gonna skip October and we go to November. Yes, we have it. Then it is. It's gonna be a credit sales of 161,400 multiplied by 7%. There's no discount here. Then it's gonna give us 11,298. Okay, let's calculate a total for October and for November. Okay, then for October it's gonna give us 10,000 plus 80,000 plus 62,000 and 16 is gonna give us 153. 153 and how much? And 384. Make sure that you're also calculating on your side, guys. Okay, then November is gonna give us 156. 738. Okay, that's how you should prepare your collection schedule, guys. So please make sure that whenever that you are watching, guys, make sure that you also comment anything. If you have question, you can just comment any question that you want me to explain into detail, or anything that you want to comment, guys. Please make sure that you also subscribe in this channel so that it can grow like other YouTubers, guys. Also like this video and share with friends who are doing grade 11. Remember, this channel also post the videos about grade 12, which means that it's also going to assist you next year when you are in grade 12. Okay, now let's continue to question 2, which we have to prepare our cash budget. Okay, so under cash budget we have a 2 part that we are going to prepare. The first one I already listed a part here which we are going to fill. Okay, it's a receipt. We are going to start with the receipt, then we go to a payment. Okay, let's start with a receipt. The first one, obviously, when you talk about the receipt, is the cash that we're expecting to receive. Payment is like expenses, but expenses in terms of cash, guys. Remember, depreciation is expense, but it's not cash, which means that it's not form part of what? Collection schedule. Okay, the first one, we have to record cash sales. Second one, cash receipts from debtors. Okay, and we also have transaction related to sales of vehicle. Let's start with cash receipts from debtors because it's simple, because we already prepare collection schedule. Very simple. You just copy this amount, guys. As it is, it doesn't matter whether you did mistake or not. You are going to in a method mark. Okay, you're just gonna copy for October. You're gonna copy 153, 384, and 156 for November, 738. Very simple. You're gonna in a method mark. It doesn't matter whether it's correct or not. Okay, please make sure that you fill. So a cash sales, how are we going to record cash sales? Very, very simple. Okay, remember number 2, they say that the current percentage of total sales for both cash and credit is expected to remain constant for the budgeted period. Okay, very simple. Under total sales, we have 476. our total sales for July is 476,000. Now we want to check, we want to test, guys, the percentage of July. Remember, credit sales, we found that they already give us 142,800. Remember, in this case, they didn't give us a percentage. They want us to calculate a percentage. Once we get a percentage for 1 month, guys, they say that they remain constant. All of them, they're the same. If you calculate this, you're gonna get a 30%. A 30%. This 30% is for credit, which means that cash now is simple, guys. 100 minus 30, which means that a 70% is cash. Simple like that. Okay. Now we are looking for cases of October, which means that for October, this is what we are going to do. We're gonna take a total sales of October of 544,000, and we multiply by 70%. Then for November, we're gonna take an amount of 560,000 multiplied by 70%. Okay, then let's calculate these two and get our cases. Okay, then our cases for October is gonna be 380, 380, and how much? 800. Okay, then for November it's gonna be 392,000. Very simple, very simple. Okay, let me confirm this. Okay, it's fine. All right, so this is how you should do your cases part. So there's a marks here, and for workings, so you have to make sure that you show your workings. Okay, then under a receipt we also have sales of vehicle. Let's just go straight to the transaction that is related to this one, which is last one, number 10. They said an old vehicle with book value of 60,000 will be sold for cash at a profit of 15,000 during November 2022. What does this mean? This simply means that this company is going to gain a profit of 15,000 from amount that they are going to receive. This simply means that let me explain it into this way. When we talk about a book value, it's like I'm saying that because I already use this mark, it's no longer worth the actual amount, but it's worth 10 rand. So which means that if I sell it by 15 rand, I gained a profit of 5 rand because it's worth 10 rand now because it's already used. So in that case, they said that vehicle is worth 60,000, but they sold it with a profit of 15,000, which means that they sold it by 75,000 total, including what? A profit. Okay, we must add them together. Then we record it under November because they sold it on November. Very simple. That's what you have to do under a receipt on this question paper. Okay, other transaction is going to affect a payment. So you have to make sure that you also totalize. Okay, totalize. So if you totalize for October, you're gonna get 534, 184, and another one you're gonna get 623, 623, an amount of 738. Okay, so this is how you should do your receipt. Okay, let's just copy this amount here. 534, 184, and another one is gonna be 623, 738. Okay, I just want to use this space, guys, for a payment. Okay, then now let's go to payments. Okay, we're gonna list them from the transactions. Okay, number one, we have to start with cash purchase of stock. A cash purchase stock. Okay, remember we also have payment to creditors, but in this case we don't have payment to creditors because this business was preferring to purchase a stock in cash. So you have to make sure that you also go back and watch the other cash budget so that you will know how to record payment to creditors. Okay, now let's take the transaction that is related to this one, which is transaction number, let me check. Transaction number 4. The current markup of 60% will be maintained through the budget period. Okay, and they also say that the stock, fresh fruit and vegetable are purchased for cash from local farmers in order to maintain fixed base level stock on hand at all time. So they purchase in cash. Okay, so which means that we have to use a 60% markup from total sales to convert it to purchase. Okay, remember our purchase amount must be lower than a sales. The answer that you are going to get must be lower than a sales, because you can't purchase item by 10 rand and sell it by 5 rand. You're gonna make a loss. So let's calculate our markup. Okay, very simple, guys. For October, let's check is how much. October is 544. This is how you're going to calculate 544. Remember, guys, you're applying a markup 100 over 160. Okay, for October. Then for November, you're gonna say amount is how much? It's 560. Multiply by 100 over 160. Okay, and let's calculate this and see how much are we going to get. Okay, 340 for October, 340, and 350 for November. This is how you should show the calculation and write the answer the other side. Okay, then the following one, we have to do a salaries of store manager. Okay, manager, we have to go and read transaction. Okay, a store manager in transaction number 6. The business currently employ the following people. A store manager, a 5% increase in October is going to happen. Okay, let's calculate for October first. Remember on the previous page, they give us a salary of store manager of 12,000. Okay, which means that from 12,000 it's going to increase by how many percent? 5%. So which means that we're gonna say 12,000 multiply by, because I want a straight answer, I'm gonna say 105 over 100. It's gonna give me a straight answer. Or you can say 12,000 multiplied by 5%, you get answer, then you add it with 12,000. Okay, then in this case we're gonna get 12,600. 12,600. Okay, then when we continue, they said Frank, the owner, is going to holiday in November, and the manager will therefore be paid extra 3,000 to be added responsible during this time, which means that the owner, because he's going to leave, okay, which means that this store manager is also going to work some work that's supposed to be done by the owner, which means that he's going to earn an extra 3,000. 12,600 plus 3,000 is gonna give us 15,600. You show calculation like this: 12,600 plus 15,600, and you're gonna get this answer. Very simple, grade 11. Very simple. Okay, now let's go to a wages. Okay, a wages. Still transaction number 5. Shop workers. There are 2 shop workers currently work 40 hours each per week, and the rate is 26 Rand per hour. Their hourly rate will increase by 180 from October. Okay, so which means that their hour rate now is not going to be 26 Rand, it's going to be 27 Rand 80. Okay, how do we calculate this? Okay, very simple. The first step, we determine that yes, if we have 2 employees and they work 40 hours per week. Remember, in a month we have how many weeks? 4, which means that we also have to multiply by 4, because we are recording for whole month, not for week. It's 40 hours per week, which we have to convert it so that it can give us a month. Okay, after that we multiply by, we're gonna multiply by the rate of 26 Rand plus 1 Rand 80, because it's going to increase, which means that it's going to be 27 Rand 80. 27 Rand 80. 27 Rand 80. Then if you calculate this, it's gonna give you 8896. Okay, very simple. Now let's proceed. They say that block number 2, with the owner going to holiday in November, each shop worker will need to work 15 hours overtime. Overtime is paid at 1.5 times the rate of the normal time. Okay, simple. They are going to work 15 hours of what? Overtime. Multiply by the normal rate, remember, okay, it's supposed to be 27, sorry, it's 27.80. 26 plus, yes, 27.80, this one. Okay, multiply by 27.80. Then we multiply by how many employees do we have? 2. Then we multiply by 2. Okay, then it's gonna give us overtime, how much they work for overtime. Okay, then it's gonna give us an amount of 1251. 1251. Simple, which means that when you go to November, you're gonna add these 2, and they will give you an amount of how much? Let me calculate. 10,147. 147. Very simple. Very simple. Okay. Now let's go to drawings. Okay, drawings, they said that number 7, Frank will withdraw 8% of total sales amount each month for his personal expense. But in November, he's planning to increase this to 12% to pay for his holiday. Okay, 8% of total sales, which means that firstly we have to calculate for October. Drawings for October is 8% of what? 8% of total sales. Okay, which is 544,000. Okay, then it's gonna give us for October. Then for November, we have to use amount of 560 multiplied by 8% is the same as this, guys. I just started with the percentage. Okay, now let's see how much we get for each month. Okay, then for October, we got an amount of 43,520. 43,520, and for November we got an amount of 67,200. Okay, then that's how you should show the calculation. Okay, let me wrap this part so that we can have a better space. Okay, then the next one we have a sundry expense. Okay, sundry expense, they said sundry expense are expected to be 10,000 each and every month, but this will increase by 2% from October. Okay, which means that we have to calculate each and every month, guys, is going to increase by 2%. So which means that for October, sundry expense, okay, it was 10,000 now, but it's going to increase by 2%, 102,100, which is going to give us 10,200. Now when we calculate for November, we have to say 10,200 multiplied by 2%. We don't use 10,000 anymore. Okay, which means that it's gonna give us 10,404. You just say 10,200 multiplied by 2%, it's gonna give you that amount. Okay, then let's go to the issue of loan and the interest. Okay, is transaction number 9. The business currently has the loan at an interest rate of 5.5 per annum. Okay, Frank planned to pay 12,000 of the capital amount of this loan on 31 October 2022. Okay, which means that we are going to create an account which we call it repayment on loan. Okay, which is going to be 12,000 that has been paid off. But we also have interest. Interest before you make a payment on 31 October, because we paid at the month's end. So we have to go back and check how much he was paying for interest. 550. 550. So it is unfortunately, guys, in this question paper, they didn't provide us how much actually loan that he was paying, he was owing, because the amount that we have to use to calculate the interest for November is the remaining balance that is still owing, because he paid 12,000, but now we don't know how much outstanding. So if we have that outstanding amount, it was going to be very simple. We said, for example, he was owing 100,000. We subtract 12,000. Then after that, we're gonna get remaining of 88, for example, multiply by 5.5%. But remember, 5.5% is for the whole year. The answer that you are going to get, you have to divide it by 12. Why? Because we are doing monthly, and 5% they say it is per annum. That's how you should calculate the interest on loan. Okay, then after this one, I think we no longer have any other transaction. Okay, then we also have the last part. Let me do it in this way. Okay, so the totals of receipts, we still have them. That's fine. Then now we have the last part, what we call cash surplus. After payment, guys, after payment, you're gonna have those amount that you are going to calculate as total. Then we have surplus or deficit, and we have opening balance and closing balance. Okay, let's do this part. I want you to understand. On the last video, guys, I show how I calculate it. You can go and check there after this video. Okay, this is how they do it. Very simple. They take a total receipts minus a payment. This one is always minus. Then it's gonna give us a surplus. Okay, let's just say, for example, surplus is 100,000 in this case. Now let's come to the issue of opening balance. How are you going to get it? You check the closing balance of the previous month, because the closing of the last month is opening for this month. We check on September. Closing balance for September, it was 146,968. 146,968. Guys, this amount, you have to write it exactly as it is. There's no method mark. Method mark is only here and here, because to get this one closing balance, of course, you have to add this two, which is going to give you 246,968. Okay, then after that we go to November. November, you do the same procedure. You take this one minus this one, you get the amount of closing balance for October. Is gonna be opening for November, 246,968. Then after that, you take this one plus this one, then it's gonna get the answer. It can happen that this one is negative, which means that you're gonna say negative, this amount plus this one is gonna give you the answer. That's how you should do it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Again and again, please don't go without subscribing and like this video, and also comment, guys, so that even other students who are willing to get assistance for accounting for grade 11, they will be able to get this video. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna see you on the next one that I'm going to upload manufacturing. See you.